name's Tom Scott-Smith. I'm an associate professor here at the Oxford Department of International Development, and I made this film to publicise a biography that I'm currently writing about Lord John Boyd Orr, who was the first director of the UN Food and Agriculture Organization.
The global food system is vulnerable. Modern agriculture relies on fertiliser from fossil fuels, on pesticides and herbicides, which have increased productivity but degraded the soil. We're dependent on a small number of crops like wheat, rice, maize, and vegetable oil. These create a world of monocultures, and they make up a huge quantity of the calories we consume. According to some studies, poor diets are responsible for more deaths globally than any other cause. We eat too much fat and sugar, which is pushed on us by the food industry. The system is exposed to price shocks, ecological failure, and supply shortages. With the war in Ukraine, we've seen how things can get worse. But we've had food crises before, and there have been many proposals to transform the global food system. So what can they teach us? Let's look at one of the most ambitious ideas, which was proposed by a Scottish scientist during the Second World War. He looked at all the big problems: malnutrition, destruction of food stocks, price instability. And he asked, isn't this a good time to redesign it all from scratch?
My name is John Orr. I've spent a number of years studying the effect of food on health. That's the science of nutrition.
John Boyd Orr was 65 when the war ended, and he'd spent years campaigning on food. He'd argued that we lived in a world of plenty, and there was no reason we couldn't feed everyone. It was just a matter of political will. By the Second World War, governments had found that will. They rationed basic foods. They set universal standards for health. And they made sure that the right foods were being produced. Orr wanted the global food system to work like this. And he proposed a World Food Board to regulate prices and provide famine relief. When the United Nations was founded after the war, John Boyd Orr was elected as the first director of the new Food and Agriculture Organization. He immediately tried to put his ideas into practice.
Our aim is that every man, woman, and child in the world should have the food he needs to be really healthy.
The whole point of the food system, he said, was to feed the world, to ensure that everyone was healthy. And at this point, he laid down a challenge.
If the United Nations can't agree upon that one simple fundamental aim, there's nothing in God's earth they will agree about.
But the United Nations couldn't agree. Britain and America tried to block Orr's plan. They said it was too expensive and too revolutionary. But Boyd Orr had a response.
Tell me, what are we fighting for if not for something revolutionary? What do people like you and me hope to get out of this war, if not a better world?
Boyd Orr couldn't change the global food system. But perhaps we can learn from his ambition. He understood that we need to act on a global scale. And when the great powers watered down his proposals, and when he ended up with an agency that just collected data and gave advice, Boydell became bitter. And in a famous speech he declared, "The people of the world had wanted bread, but instead they were getting statistics."